gals, and everything in between. So I've got the sticky uppy hair today, which means another week, another episode of Doctor Who. This one, part 2 of the 60th anniversary special, Wild Blue Yonder. So Wild Blue Yonder is where we picked up where the last episode left off. The Doctor and them catapult through time. They don't know. They could be anywhere. Where are they? Well, a sci-fi looking spaceship. And I will say that this one leaps and bounds a million times better than last week's episode, in my opinion. While I enjoyed last week's episode and had a problem with a lot of the wokeisms and all that, this episode forgoes all of that, really. Except for in the intro, they have like a really unnecessary thing where I guess Isaac Newton is black now. All right. Aside from Isaac Newton now being black, we have a solid sci-fi horror episode. So they find themselves at the edge of the universe. And I will say that critics, scoopers, all of them have been just hyping this episode up as this is the big episode. There is going to be so much 60th-ness in this episode. Is there? No. Doctor Who, as we all know, is no stranger to having cool sci-fi stories in an isolated environment. And this one is literally just an isolated environment for Doctor Who in a space horror episode where there seems to be people melding with, it's slowly replicating people. It reminded me a lot of the classic episode Midnight in certain regards, and I thought that was pretty cool. But in terms of overall episode, it did not really have anything to do with the 60th, other than you can just see the Doctor on a sci-fi horror journey, which is cool. I thought that was neat, but otherwise, you're not really getting that much of like this is gonna change everything. A lot of people were saying, there were scoopers leaking saying Peter Capaldi and Matt Smith show up as evil doctors. That never happens. There were people saying this is going to bring back like Susan from the first Doctor's run, not the Tecteun Timeless Child thing. That didn't happen. None of that happened. It's just a solid sci-fi horror episode with like a mimic-based creature. And it was creepy in scenes. It was visually awesome looking, and it was a relatively simple episode. There's a lot of talk that this show had a limited time to make the 60th anniversary, and this is one of those ones I can see where they sped the production process up a little bit, because really they shot this on one soundstage. So it was cool though, but that's the thing. They forego all of the crap that they were shoveling in the last episode that I didn't like, and just gave you a good sci-fi horror episode that was very, to me, reminiscent of something like Event Horizon, or something of that sort that just kind of was unsettling. And it did have darker themes, like it had really dark themes in terms of, your past, forgoing that, suicide. They touch on some dark subjects in this a little bit. They did address the Timeless Child, and while technically they made it canon, the thing I do love is that they kind of just have it as a throwaway line, and then Donna asked the Doctor, will you get over it? And he went, yeah. That's about it. I mean, the Timeless Child, it's addressed in half a sentence, where they sit there and go, well, you're not from Gallifrey, you're from insert universe here, Tecteun, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, well, yeah, I'll get over it, it's fine. So that was about it. That really addressed it. Yep, no surprise cameos. At the end, of course, we do have a cameo for who's going to be in the final episode. And we all know Wilfred Mott, of course, is in it. He shows up in the last, 20 seconds of the episode. Hit Me Where I Live, which means which I actually think is interesting, because they set this up as like a trilogy of events, and maybe they'll all tie together. Russell T Davies is really good at that. But the trilogy is really just kind of reintroducing people to Doctor Who, which is fine. But yeah, it kind of the formula per se, which means that the great battle between Neil Patrick Harris and David Tennant is the next episode and the finale for this before we have our return of the Christmas specials. So yeah, I enjoyed this episode. I don't really have anything to gripe about it. I thought it was intense. I thought it was fun. The pacing was spot on. And yeah, just overall, it was a good time. About all I can say. All right, guys, gals, and everything in between. Did you enjoy it? I sure did. This'll probably, if between these two, the first episode and this one, which one would I rewatch more? Oh, absolutely this one, 100%. This is definitely a one-off episode. It worked really well. I'll rewatch it a few times. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I got plenty more videos coming to ya.